do it that one. Okay. Good evening and welcome to another episode of the Unexpected Detour. We're in life, detours are inevitable. You should know that by now. I shouldn't have to say all of that, but I'll let you know. And today, my special guest is Ranelle Wilson. Ranelle is actually a neighbor, and she does this fantastic thing called body sculpture. Me wanting to know what she did, I had to go and see it. I was determined because I just wanted to see. When I say this child can work those hands and make that body feel so good, you would be surprised. I know that she was worked in medicine before, but from medicine, I guess she saw a better opportunity with starting her own business, and that she has done. And without further ado, I will introduce Ranelle to you. And Ranelle, you can tell us about your business and how you decided to start this body sculpture.
Hi, hello everyone. I'm Ranelle. So how I got into body sculpting, I've always been around a lot of different people who either had body sculpting done or they had surgery done. So those two worlds kind of collide. I've always did a lot of research on different techniques because I've seen different techniques that were done for you to lose inches and lose weight and battle cellulite without having to have surgery. So seeing the science behind it always kind of caught my interest for the fact that you could get almost similar results to you having surgery without having to go under the knife and still being able to continue with your day-to-day activity and being able to kind of really keep up with it. And it also being a lot cheaper on a customer side. I've also had body sculpting done. So once I actually started getting sculpted done and really learning the science behind it, my interests were definitely just peaked and I ran with it. So I was able to get my teacher from a friend of mine, Michelle, who was doing my body sculpting at the time. And she gave me two teachers. One was in Atlanta and one was in Vegas. I chose the one in Vegas. I did that. I did the class. I went out to Vegas. I did my class. It was about a day. And from that point on, I knew from just the training, like, this is something that I'm interested in doing. This is something that I really, really want to do. And once I did my training and I came back home after those about 3 days, I literally started immediately. And I was doing that at the same time as still working my 9 to 5.
What made you want to stop your 9 to 5 to do the body sculpture? Because you do a good job. I mean, I'm a customer, so I can honestly say I
Thank
saw
you.
results.
Thank you. What made me leave my 9 to 5 to do sculpting full time was honestly the money. Just like on my weekends and my off time when I had like a full day to be able to dedicate my time to it, I was able to make what I made in 2 weeks in a day, in an hour. So once I started kind of calculating it on a financial side, it just made more sense to stick with this. And I was able to grow clientele rather quickly. So it just made more sense to do this full time versus doing it part time with my 9 to 5.
So what you do, is it somewhat similar to what we see on TV, those commercials, that Bella, and is that the same thing?
So no, so Sanabello and what I do is a bit different. Sanabello is actually liposuction. So that's no different than you going and taking your time to find a plastic surgeon on your own and deciding, okay, I want to do this procedure. So that's no different. It's just more commercialized. So you see the commercials on TV, you see the billboards for it, you see the ads in magazines and stuff like that. So it's really no different from you getting liposuction. So what I do is completely non-invasive, which is the difference. And I utilize both wood therapy techniques and massage therapy techniques, as well as body sculpting techniques with the machine that I utilize. So that's the difference.
All right, but there's another thing. I know when I used to go to the dermatologist, she had this thing where you freeze the fat. What is that?
That's cool. Okay, so that's cool sculpting. So cool sculpting works a bit different. It's pretty much the opposite of what I'm doing with my cavitation machine. So cool sculpting uses clearly low below freezing temperatures to freeze whatever targeted area that the client is coming in for, and it freezes the fat cells. So the temperature drops so low that the fat cells can't survive in that area, whatever area they're targeting, whether it's their arms, their stomach, their back, love handles. um, it works that way. So it works with cold. The cavitation machine uses ultrasound sound waves to vibrate your fat cells so that they can leak their contents, and then you can pass it. You can actually pass it through urination, sweating, or even pooping.
So what you do is a lot safer, I would say, than going through all of that liposuction and the cool sculpting, and because I had considered cool sculpting until I came across you. So that's why I wanted to know what was that cool sculpting, but I know it costs a lot of money, that cool sculpting.
It does. The sessions with cool sculpting particularly are very costly. They can run you from a couple of $100 to a couple of $1,000 depending on where you go. How many sessions you're getting? Are you doing it per session? It depends on the area you go to. So, and it's usually per session. So it gets costly, and a lot of times it's hard for clients to realistically maintain doing that on a daily basis versus you going to a person like me or anyone else that does the same thing that I do, where it's costly. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not super cheap, but it's a lot cheaper than you getting surgery, or you doing cool sculpt and you going into office and to do those kind of procedures. And then you also got to keep in mind what other things that you might end up using when you go to get those things. So that's when the price can also go up.
Okay, so now if a client comes to you, do you suggest what they should get, or do they tell you what they want done? Because now
I get
you're
a
the master of the hands and the sculpting, so you're looking at somebody, and would you like say, maybe we should start with this area first, or they come in and say, I want to work on that, and that's it?
I get a combination of both, honestly. I get some people who off rip know, okay, this is the area I want to work on and that's all I want to do. And then I also have the combination of clients that come to me that really don't know. They might have an idea of where they want to work on, but they really don't know what they should do. So they'll come to me for more guidance, for me to give them more of that structure and kind of explain things to them, to give them the best outcome that I can possibly give them, and also kind of just work with them. Um, it's usually just that combo. Most of the time, even the ones that come in and say, I only want to work on my stomach or I only want to work on my legs, they're usually pretty much open minded to me telling them, okay, we can work on this, but if we work on this, it would make sense to also work on that. And that's the beauty about my sessions. I allow them 2 areas per session. So even if you only came in and you want to work on just the front of your stomach, I might suggest to you, let's work on your back as well, because then you get the full treatment and you'll really see results versus you just treating your stomach. So for the most part, I do get a combination of both, but everyone's pretty much open-minded.
Okay, now I know I've been to you, but I know you use the wood. Does everybody use that wood therapy, or is it just you?
No, everyone for the most part that does sculpting with cavitation machines, for the most part, will use wood tools. When we're taught to use our hands, the machines, and wood tools. So it's typical across the board that you can go to anyone and wood therapy is an option, or it's a part of the treatment that they offer.
Oh, so they don't have to do the wood therapy though.
No, so wood therapy works well for clients who I can't use my cavitation machine on.
Okay.
So if I have a client who is in remission from cancer, I won't use my machine on them.
Oh,
Um,
like me. Yeah.
right, I won't use the machine on you, so I use just the wood. So with the wood, whether I use the machine or not, you can still get the results. Wood is just it's manual. So versus me using the machine and me having to use just the manpower of moving the machine on the client, the machine does most of the manpower because it's a machine. So it's pumping the waves through when I'm using the cavitation, or the probes are getting hot when I'm doing the radio frequency. So that's just that part of it. With therapy, you can still achieve great results. It's just a natural alternative. And also with therapy, I can use it in the areas that I'm not allowed to use the machine on. So for instance, um, for sculpting on someone's back, I wouldn't use my cavitation on their back if they have back rolls or where bra bulge. So I would use my wood tools in those areas. If I'm going more across their back, I clearly wouldn't use the machine. Can't go over the rib cage. You can't go over the spine with the machine. So I can go over those areas that I can't touch with a machine with the wood. So that's where the wood component would come in. Whether or not I have a client that comes in specifically asking for just wood therapy, I at some point in time I'm going to use the wood because I'm not going to use the machine on every part of your body.
So when they have to tell you if they had cancer, is it have something to do with because they had radiation, that's why you don't use it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So clients like that, I wouldn't use it on. If a client has stents in their heart, I wouldn't use the machine on. Basically, because if using cavitation on the person's heart and they have a stent, it's gonna vibrate and it can mismove anything, and then that's when you run into issues. So that's another situation where I would use wood.
Okay. Yeah, because I was wondering, you used the wood on me.
Yeah, so I
I
do
had
that
radiation,
specifically.
so I figured that had something to do with it. Even though I'm in remission, I still had the radiation. So
Right. So for in your case, I would use just the wood, and you still get the same results because you still get the same aftercare tips that any client that would get. So any client that I would tell to drink green tea, you would get the same aftercare tips. So as long as you're following those aftercare tips, it doesn't matter if I'm not using the machine or not. You'll still get the results. And just keep in mind that everybody's body is completely different. The chemistry is different.
okay, so okay, now we have the BBL ladies. Do they come in?
Right. Yeah, so I definitely get a lot of BBL clients. That can be for different situations and different scenarios. So one situation, a scenario, it would be if you come into me for post-op, you just had it done. So you're coming to me to maintain your where you had the liposuction done. So if you got a lipo 360, they would take the fat from your stomach, your sides, and your back and inject whatever fat they're able to retrieve from those areas into your butt. That's a case you come to me, and even for maintenance. Then I also get my non-invasive BBLs. So I have some people who don't want to go the surgery route, and they might just want some more shaping to their butt, or they want more volume, and I'm able to do that with sculpting. So that's the combination of me using wood, a combination of me using the machine, massage techniques, and then also using a vacuum. And then also whatever topical serums I'm using at that time, just to help the machine work that much better and for you to get the results. So I get the post-ops, I get the maintenance BBLs, and I get the non-invasive BBLs.
So the non-invasive one is better. It's safer.
Yeah, it's definitely, I would definitely say it's safer. You're not going under the knife. Anytime you're not going under the knife, it's always going to be a lot much
Okay,
safer.
you get the ones with the breasts and they want that done too? No.
I have occasionally, more so when I first began, I had clients that come to me for that. The only thing with that particular service is that it doesn't work for everybody.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so I do get people who they're interested in it, but they're not a candidate. So if you're like a triple C or D and higher, and you have volume, it's not going to do anything. So it's
Okay.
not going to necessarily lift it. So that's not one of those services that I kind of offer completely across the board. I have clients that they might have a smaller bust, so they're going out for something and they want their dress to fit a certain way. That's when I'll offer that service for them. You get some of them here and there. I got them more in the beginning, less now.
Oh, well, that's better for you then. Because if
Yeah.
it doesn't work for everybody, it doesn't make sense to do it.
Yeah, and it's just I'd rather not waste anyone's time nor money doing something that
Right.
I know is not gonna help them in any shape or form. But if, like I
Yeah,
said,
so
if I
you're
have
very honest
someone,
with what you're doing. You're letting
yeah,
them know before they sit there that it doesn't work for everybody to breast,
absolutely.
which makes you such an excellent businesswoman. After my
Thank you.
experience with you, I found you very intriguing. I mean, you were just you just blew my mind with me asking questions and you answered them and you explained like a doctor. You went there,
Right,
you go there, you ask the questions and you explain everything that you're doing, why you're doing it, everything. That's why
right.
I like going to you. And that's why I said I'm a customer too, but I had to share her story, yes, with the world to let everybody know that they can come to you. They don't have to go
Absolutely.
get surgery and because the body sculpture is going to do the same thing.
Right.
And
And
you
it's
had it because I know when I first met you, you were a bigger person.
absolutely
And then I saw you and I was like, wow. That's why I asked you, what happened? What did you do? And you were doing
right.
it on yourself, the body sculpting, right?
Right. So I transitioned from going to my friend Michelle that was doing it, and I was going weekly. I maybe went from like twice a week to once a week. And then once I got certified and had my business, I just made it a daily routine to basically make sure I included it, but also just when I was explaining it to clients, I wanted them to understand and see my transition as long as with theirs because I don't want to be sitting here preaching to you and I'm telling you to do X, Y, and Z and do this service. And you looking at me and you're like, do you do any of these services? And or not being able to explain how certain things feel or telling them, well, this is how you'll feel the next day. So that's why I felt that it was super important for me to make sure that I continue sculpting even after I became certified, just so that I can go through that journey as long as with my clients.
And you want to be a product of you're the product of you, what you do.
Right, correct. I'm
Yeah.
my billboard. Right.
Because you do it, you did it for yourself and you got to tell them what's the trick right now, what they got to change up. They're eating.
Yeah, eating is huge. Eating is huge. So with body sculpting, it's just like going to the gym. So you can't go to the gym and then do a good workout and then hit McDonald's up. It doesn't work like that and then expect that you're going to get results. So with sculpting, it's the same exact thing. So if you're coming to get sculpted, the day of, you want to make sure you're not eating heavy meals because it's not going to feel comfortable having someone press on your stomach. um, you also want to make sure that you're eating clean afterwards. So eating clean is you're not eating saturated foods high in salt, super sugary foods. You want to avoid those things. And then just on a general note, you kind of want to avoid those things if you're doing body sculpting because you're really not going to see the results and your results will be delayed if you're not changing the way you're eating. You're not drinking water. Water is super key with sculpting. If you're not drinking water, it's gonna delay the results a ton because what we're doing is body manipulation. So we're manipulating the body in order for us to break down the toxins in your body, and the water plays key so that you can flush it out. So if you're not drinking water, you're not eating right, you're not gonna get results.
Yeah, I know you asked me that. What do I drink? Water. Yeah.
Right. Water is key. I feel like I scream, drink water to all my clients, but it's the reality, it's the key of it. So if I don't tell you that and you're not getting results, I'm not doing you any justice as being your body sculpting tech.
Yeah, then they'll just wasting your time and their time if they're not
Exactly.
following the protocol. But tell them you also have a meal meal menu. You still have
All
your
right.
meals?
Right. So I'm working with a couple of different vendors right now at the moment to get some meal prepping options available. So I want to be able to not only scope, but I want to be able to kind of set you up for your aftercare. So I want you to be able to have your meals for a whole week, Monday through Friday, and not have to worry about your lunch and your dinner. You know what I mean? You have clean options. You don't have to overthink it. You grab and go. And it's easy for me to provide this service because I want my clients to get the results. So I want to be able to set you up properly so that you can get it done and not feel like I'm getting my sculpting done, but I'm lacking in my food because I don't just simply have the time to put these kinds of meals together. And a bigger thing is I noticed that a lot of my clients who are moms don't have the time to cook a healthy meal. So whatever they make their kids is realistically what they're gonna eat
Right.
um, at night. So I want to be able to especially help those kind of clients, and even just the ones who have super busy schedules that just don't have the time to stop and cook and make meals for a whole week. May be able to provide them with those meals so that when they're coming to get their sculpting, they know I have food and I'm set up, and all I got to do is stick with my appointments, eat my food, get my little exercise in, and I'm good to go.
So your meal preps, what they consist of, like protein, vegetables, starch?
Right. So it's going to be your protein, your vegetables, your starch. But the difference with how the menu is going to be, it's not going to be boring. So you're not going to have your boiled chicken, unseasoned veggies. You know what I mean? It's going to be more of culturally identifiable foods. So you're going to have jerk chicken with rice, and they're portioned out so that the calories aren't over, you know what I mean, over
So it's
500.
portion control too.
Absolutely. It's always portion control, and it's swapping things out and not depriving yourself. When you deprive yourself, that's when you crash because you're now so like for instance, if you go on a I'm not gonna eat any kind of carbs, eventually after a while, like you're gonna crash and you're gonna binge and eat a whole bunch of carbs. You're not supposed to deprive your body needs these things to operate on a cellular level. So you want to be able to make sure that you're just portioning out everything and getting what you need and also eating for what your need is. So the way you would eat for the way you want to lose weight is going to be completely different from the way you want to eat to grow muscle mass.
Gotcha. But
So you
oh,
got to
there'll
be
be
able to
ones for,
identify.
there'll be meals for muscle mass too.
Correct. So
Oh,
depending on what it is that you're looking for, that's what it is that you'll get. So a person that's gonna eat to lose weight is gonna eat less calories than versus a person that's gonna be eating to gain muscle. The calorie
okay.
intake is gonna be higher, not a lot higher, but higher than you trying to lose weight. It'll be the same meals, but it might be put together different. You know what I mean? Just so that you can get those extra proteins or not, depending
That
on.
sounds good though. I might
Yeah,
have to
no,
get on
I'm
that.
trying to, I want to provide options. I want to provide those options just so that's not boring. Because also, if you're eating stuff that's just super plain, bland, has no flavor to it, you're not gonna stick to it. Realistic, like I wouldn't stick to it if I know that okay, when it's time to eat, it feels like a chore because you know you don't really want to eat it. You rather
Right,
eat something that tastes good, but it's just portion controlled and it's not. It doesn't have all of the additives that you might get when you go and order food outside. It's home
right,
cooked
right.
meals, portion control, but it's stuff that you know we identify with. We know jerk chicken, we know meatballs, and we know Greek salad. You know what I mean? We know these things, so it's just about making it a little bit healthier and in portion control.
That sounds interesting. I'm on board for that.
Yes, absolutely.
I need the portion control to lose the weight.
We can do that. We could definitely work on
Even
that.
though I do the body sculpting, I need to trim it down.
We could always
Yeah.
work on that.
And where do you operate? So in case, I know you have two locations.
Right. So I operate home base in the Bronx and then also home base in Hopewell Junction. I do travel visits down in the city in between that time. So
You?
yeah, I do travel visits down here.
Oh, oh, that's interesting to know.
So I
So
do
your
those three
travel business is
options.
up here, so I ain't gotta worry about that.
Right, right. Your travel visits up there, so yours you still getting the same spiel.
Yeah, could you show them, you have any of your equipment there, like the wood and stuff, so
I
they,
do. So I have. So these are some. This is the cube roller.
yeah, that's the stomach one.
Right. This is the stomach one. This is the cube roller. Um, and it has like smooth ridges on it. This is used on the stomach. I can use it on the back, the sides. Sometimes I use it on the back of the thighs if I'm working on cellulite, just because it's a lot more sturdier. Then I
Okay,
also have my Swiss cup. So the Swiss cup comes in handy when I'm doing the last step of wood therapy. So once I've broken everything down with everything, with all the other tools, because there's a few, this is the last tool I'm going to use for my wood therapy. This is where the lymphatic massage comes into play. So once we're done, we take this and we drag everything broken down towards your lymph nodes, depending on where we're working. And this helps you to drain them. So we're pushing everything into that area so that now your body can just now release
So
it.
how do you know when it's ready to be drained and stuff? I mean, you must know something that when it's yeah, how do you know? Because I know after
So
coming from you, I did go to the bathroom. So.
right. So
Mhm.
what I do is when I'm doing wood, my rule of thumb is you're doing it for about 5 to 10 minutes outside of the Swiss cup. And I do that so that it warms up the skin. So when we're warming, you gotta think about it. If I'm going over your skin on your stomach, right? Over the same areas for 10 minutes, it warms everything up. So
Oh.
the layer, the outside of just the outside of your skin getting warm, everything underneath starts to get warm. And then once we get that warm after the 10 minutes, that's when I go in because I done broke everything what I needed to with the wood down. And now
Mm.
I go in with the Swiss cup and drain everything.
Oh, that's how you knew. So I was like,
Right.
she know. You didn't tell us tell us the name of the business. That's what everybody
So
wants to know.
the name of the business is the Body Bando.
With the
Um
underscore.
yeah, with the underscore on Instagram. It's the Body Bando. I had a business prior to it, which is kind of how I got this name. It was like a spinoff. So I had Hot Girl Bando. This is about the start of COVID. So this is like 2020 when I did Hot Girl Bando. Hot Girl Bando was really just like lip glosses, lip scrubs, body butters.
You still
What
do
else did I
that?
have? I still have lip balms. I had I have a few other things I had. Oh, the accessory keychains with the lip glosses on it.
Oh, nice.
I still have them like on hand. Some clients that have bought in the past, so just they'll buy more, they'll get the custom lip gloss. So it's usually like just kind
Oh.
of stuff that I keep around, especially like in the Hopa location. I usually have some on the table. And I have clients that, oh, you have lip gloss, and they'll buy some. And I had like lip oils and things like things as
So
such.
when I get in my next time, I gotta look and see.
Yes, I have some. I usually have some on the shelf.
Oh, okay. I'll
I
be
usually
looking
have
at the
some on the
fish,
shelf.
that's why.
Oh yeah, the fish, right?
Oh, okay. So you're on just Instagram, right?
I'm on Instagram and I'm also on TikTok. So on TikTok it's at the body bando, and on Instagram it's at the body bando underscore.
And then I'll leave the website so they can contact you. And I
Yes,
know
and also
you have a price list
the
that,
price list is listed on both TikTok and it's listed on Instagram. You can find them on both spots.
and tell us how you pay for these things. Yeah.
So you can
Because you have a
a lot
cool
of
way that you can pay for it. So,
right. So you can either, so if you're, whether you're getting a single session or you're getting a package, you can apply for Cherry. So I have Cherry financing in place. So that allows my clients, it's almost like an afterpay for body sculpting. So it allows my clients to put a deposit down depending on what they select. And that's the nice part about it. It allows you to pick how often you want to pay it, whether you want to do it every week, every 2 weeks, every month, how long you want to pay it off for. So it allows you to kind of figure out what you want to pay for your deposit. And once you pay that, you're able to, it comes to me on my end, and then I'll just book your appointments depending on how many you want, and you'll tell me. So it basically works as a line of credit. So you apply for the credit, you tell me how many sessions you want, depending on how much credit you were approved for, and then we move on with your sessions. And then I have some people who go and just pay the whole thing up front. So you have both those options.
okay, but when the cherry is finished, do they have to reapply again or they could just continue?
So, right. So the cherry is only good for 30 days. So let's just say you get approved for $5,000, right? And you only use 350, right? After that amount, you're only approved for 30 days. So it's available for you to use for 30 days. So you can use it as much as you want for 30
Oh, okay.
days. Whatever you use is what you're responsible for. So let's just say you got the 5,000 approved for 5,000 and you want to use 350, you're only responsible for 350. So after
Okay.
that 30 days is up and you want to now reapply for it, you would just go through the same process again. And it's a short quick little application and sent via text message. So if you knew that that's what you want to do, you could either go on the website through the link on Instagram, or you can write me a message asking me for the link, and I can send you a text message for you to do it, and you do it right on your phone.
And they can contact you at the body bando?
Yep, they can write me right on the DM. It's always me that answers, so you don't have to worry about talking to anyone else. And I'm pretty quick with my responses, so I
And I
usually
can
see
attest
them.
to, yes, you are quick.
Thank
Mhm.
you. I usually see them as they come in. So whether you have questions about sculpting, you're not sure, if you want to do a consultation, I have plenty of people that write me in my DM on Instagram all the time because they're interested and just not sure of what they need. So I've done consultations virtually, which I do most of them. If you're, not right then and there, or if you book, I can do the consultation when you get there.
Oh, okay. Oh, so they can come to you for the consultation,
Yeah, you can come to me for the consultation, but I've made it
but
easier
will
to do
they
it
be, they
virtually.
won't be able to get their session that day, right?
No, so if I have availability, if you
Oh, then they
called
can get the
me,
session at
yeah, if I'm available,
consulate.
you can
Oh,
absolutely, yeah, you can absolutely do it the same day. I've had some people call me and I've done it virtually, and if I had the availability, I was able to do their session that day. So you can absolutely do it that way.
oh, okay. I didn't know that. Oh, but then you were right here, so
Right. So it's like you see me all the
it
time,
was
but yeah,
easy for me. But
you
I'll
can
put
see
all
me
the
real fast.
information at the end when we finish so that they can contact you, they can reach out to you, they can follow you on Instagram. If they have any other questions that we did not cover tonight, they can also ask you all those questions. Is there anything that I
Absolutely.
didn't cover?
I don't think so. I think you covered everything.
You got that machine there?
I do. Hold on. Let me see.
Yeah, that other machine there, that's the other machine.
So this is the cavitation machine. This is just one of many different versions of the cavitation machine. They come in different shapes, sizes, and different modalities. The one I have behind me is the standard. So it comes with the radio frequency probe, which is for skin tightening, and it comes with two, one for your body, and then a smaller one for like the face. And then it comes with a vacuum probe that has skin tightening capabilities, and then a cavitation head, which is the modality I use to break up the fat. And then this also has laser pads,
They
all on
do
one machine.
body sculpturing on their face too?
So the body sculpting on the face is more so for skin tightening.
Oh,
So
okay.
I get people who get the skin tightening like on their chin if they're like trying to lose weight, or they did lose weight and they still kind of have a little bit of a sagging chin, I'll do it there. But you can
Oh,
get skin
okay.
tightening on your face.
Oh, I didn't know you did that. See, good thing I asked. If you didn't say that, I wouldn't have
See?
thought about that.
And
Oh,
then you
maybe
can also do it with the wood
you could do the
tools.
skin tightening here for me.
I actually have wood tools that I could do skin
Oh,
tightening on your face. They're small enough to be done and used on your face. So you can use the machine like you can on your body, and then you can use the wood tools on your face. It's the same
okay.
idea.
And then I remember I told you I'm always sitting here doing this.
Right.
But I also have like what's that? The exfoliating brush. You know,
Right. The dry
how do
brush.
you use that brush? Because I've never been told properly how to use it. And I have like a
Right.
little one where you can rub on your stomach.
Right. So dry brushing is good. That helps to move with blood circulation and stuff like that. Dry helps to exfoliate, obviously. But it's also good to do those a dry brush before you come to your session if you have it. It's
Oh,
not a
okay.
mandatory thing. When you're doing it, you want to not brush hard. You want to go and you want to put a little bit of pressure, enough to feel it, but you want to go in circular motions and go all around. So you want to hit all of your stomach, your sides, and whatever areas of your back that you can reach, and do take turns on both sides. And then you can take a shower. It works great when you do that before because you're now exfoliating and it allows whatever products and stuff that we're going to use to penetrate into your skin and do what it's going to do a lot easier versus you not doing it.
Okay, so I'll remember that the next time because I have the brush.
Right.
And I
And you just
have it
want to
because I
go
was
super
using it
gentle.
for the thighs. Does it work?
Yep. You can use it on your thighs as well.
And it's a circular motion or?
Yep. You want to go in circular motions just like this with your brush. And that's for any area that you can use your dry brush on. You want to go in circular motions, apply enough pressure for you to feel it so you feel like you're doing something, but not enough pressure where you're like scraping up your skin or it feels uncomfortable.
Okay, because I have one for the head too.
Yep. You can use it for literally, you apply that same method to any part of your body that you're using it on.
But you don't
just
do it hard,
enough
you just do
pressure.
it light.
Right. Light enough so that you feel it and you feel like you're actually doing something, but not
So
too
what,
much
it's
where you feel like
stimulating your circulation in your body?
it does. It's stimulating the circulation and it's also stimulating the lymphatic system because the lymphatic system is the only system in your body that does not have an on and off switch. So
okay.
So your nervous system, your immune system have on and off switches to turn off and function the way that they're supposed to. Your lymphatic system does not. Your lymphatic system has to be manually stimulated for it to do what it's going to
That's
do.
why those brushes are good. When you do it
So you're
at home,
stimulating.
that's what it's good for.
Right. So the dry brush is honestly a great option to have when you're doing like your aftercare, when you're getting body sculpting done. So in your in between days and stuff like that, that's an awesome tool to use because you can do it every day. It's not, you know what I mean? Because it's not super abrasive. You can do that every day and it's helping with the blood circulation, but also helping to stimulate your lymphatic system and helping your body continue to drain out what it is that you're breaking down and just over on an overall level, you want your lymphatic system to do what it needs to do.
Now, there was another thing I wanted, the faja. What are your thoughts about the faja?
So faja, I like fajas a whole lot better, honestly, than waist trainers. Waist trainers, to me, in my opinion, they're cool when you get to a certain point when you're just really trying to make your waist super duper snatched. But on an everyday, going to work or moving around and having to do daily activities, it's almost impossible because they're gonna shift. So I like the fajas better because it's a full body garment that allows your full body. So depending on which model you get, if you get a long one, it'll support your legs, it'll support your arms if you get the one with the sleeves. It'll support if you got a BBL or if you just want your butt to sit up and just have a little bit more structure and just sit nice and smooth. That's a good option. So they come in different styles, but they cover your whole body. So you can put that on and go do your day-to-day activities and not feel it shifting and having to go to the bathroom to adjust it and fix it because it covers everything.
Does it really make your waist thin though?
If you're using it consistently and you're doing it with the conjunction of other things, absolutely. If you're only wearing it when you're going out or if you're putting on a nice outfit, it's, you know what I mean? It's not gonna
So
really,
you
it'll
have to
work for
wear
the
that
moment.
every day to get that snatch waist effect.
Right. And you're doing that, like I said, with the conjunction of other things. So whether you're getting sculpted or not, even with just some of the tips. So a lot of my clients that aren't coming to me actively right now, they use whatever aftercare tips that I'm giving them and they continue with that regimen and routine. So if you're sticking with your regimen and routine or you're just even or if you're even just exercising, you're not even doing the full aftercare tips that I gave you, you're just exercising and you're wearing that, it's basically reinforcing what you're doing. So if you're wearing it on a consistent basis and wearing it, I always tell clients if you're not comfortable with wearing a faja, you've never gone through the process of it. I always tell clients to at least wear it like around the house. Try it on for an hour and see how you feel in the house.
I gotta try mine on. I still ain't get it on.
No, she's not gonna help you. You want to work around the house with it because a faja is made to be snug.
Oh,
So it's supposed to be snug.
okay.
Not tight to the point where you feel like you have a headache and it hurts.
Right.
It's supposed to be like almost like how like if you, for instance, right? If you hit your elbow, right? What's your first instinct? What's your
Oh,
instinct to
ooh,
do? Grab
pain.
your elbow
Yeah.
and to hold it tight. So basically, that's what a faja is really made for, is for anyone that's had surgery, and it uses that basic idea. So when something hurts, like when you hit your elbow, you go to put pressure on it so that it hurts less. When someone has surgery and they put on a faja, it basically snug enough so that they don't swell and it keeps their body from hurting.
So
So
it's good
it's
to wear in the house, like if you're doing work around the house. Wouldn't it help
absolutely.
you to burn some fat too, or that's,
Um, if you're working out in it, yeah. If you're working out in it, if you're walking around the house, you're just helping reinforce it. If you're doing it on a consistent basis, you're just reinforcing whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's sculpting or working out or you're detoxing and doing stuff like that on a holistic level. That's it's just gonna help reinforce that a little bit quicker. Um, those are real. I mean, those are really the two things that you're really doing it for. The best way for you to get comfortable, ideally with faja, is just like I said, wearing it around the house and getting comfortable with it, and then also experimenting with the different styles. So you might try one faja and it might not work for you because it might be cut because you might have bigger thighs, so it might cut on your legs and it's uncomfortable. So when you're going through like your trial and error of trying to figure out how the faja world works, I would just say get your first faja, see how it makes you feel. If you feel like it doesn't fit you quite right, then try a different style.
I'll get back to
Um,
you.
you just like it right for you.
But
You
remember,
can
I
always
got the
try.
thing that goes around the waist. That's good too.
Yes, you can use that. So it's not that you can't use those. I just say for an everyday basis, it's better to use the faja. Like on an everyday, you're
I
moving
use that
around.
like when I'm walking around in here, and
Mm-hmm.
sometime when I go outside, I'll have that band on there.
And it's also good for that too, because sometimes you just might not feel like putting on a whole garment. So that's when like a waist trainer or the band comes in handy to have, because you can just wrap it around your waist. If you're only working on your waist, you just wrap it around there and kind of go about your day and not have the whole piece on. Because sometimes ideally you don't feel like putting on a faja and being super duper snug, and it happens. So if you have the band or you have a waist trainer, I always tell clients, if you have those other options outside of your faja and you don't feel
Mhm.
like putting your faja on, but you still want to make sure you're putting something on your waist, you can still use that option as well.
I guess if I want to get a dress on, I'll put that faja on.
That's normally when you put a faja on,
Now,
but then you can also get stuff that'll still fit you with that same faja material that'll fit with your clothes. So that's the beauty about fajas and shapewear. It's advanced so much now where you can get pieces to go under your clothes and they're a lot more seamless and it's not bulky and you don't see it underneath your clothes.
right.
So even if you're going out and you're like, oh, I can't wear this faja because it's gonna show, you still have other options of things that you can wear that'll still reinforce what the faja is doing, but not show underneath your clothes.
Okay, now there's another thing you told me about wrapping the cellophane. Remember? You told me
Yeah. So with the was that the yellow?
it was the cellophane with what was it, with oil or something?
Oh, so the no, the castor oil, right? So castor oil is awesome for detoxing and it's good for if you have like a bone spur, you can put it on top of the skin topically and break it up from just being on the skin topically versus you actually taking it. So if you take castor oil and you rub a couple drops in your belly button at night and go to sleep, for a female, where our belly button is, that's where all our female organs are. So, and then also that's your abdominal cavity. So bloating, all of that stuff, right? And even for a man, doesn't matter. That's where we typically have our issues and abdominal issues, right? If you put it in your belly button and do this every night, because castor oil is so strong, it'll penetrate through the belly button and it'll help your body detox. But once again, this is something that you have to do on a daily basis. So this is something that you're going to do every night. for you to
Okay.
really start to see a difference. And everybody's results is a little bit different. It depends on what it is that you're doing it for. So some people are doing it more for a detox. They'll see whatever difference it is depending on whatever symptoms they were experiencing.
Okay, you do men too? Do they come for body sculpting?
I do have men clients that come to me. I have a few of my clients' husbands actually come. They come together. So they come,
Okay.
they make it like a little date kind of situation and get sculpting. The way men sculpting tends to be a little bit easier because men tend to lose weight a lot easier than women
Oh,
do. Um, so sometimes in some cases I'll see results a little bit quicker, but it also, like I said, it depends on their body and how they eat, how their body processes things, and also how well their lymphatic system is working. If you have a lot of detoxing that needs to be done, I'll usually see that if you're coming to me repeatedly and I don't really see any kind of slight difference, and I'll normally start off with like, how are you eating? Are you drinking enough water? If you're doing those things, then at that point, I'll know that you need to detox a lot more.
right.
And we need to probably go a different route for you to detox for us to really see results. Because if you don't detox, you're not going to see the results. Your body has to get rid of all of the gunk essentially in order for you to start to see anything happen.
So people with diabetes, they would have to get rid of all of the junk for you to work with them.
Right. So, as long as your diabetes is controlled, you can
Hmm.
absolutely come to me, and you have no issues. As long as you have clearance, you know what I mean? If you're on medications and things of such, but detoxing is really good for just anybody. I have anybody that comes to me, I suggest them to detox if they're not already. Some clients I do have that come to me are already detoxing. So they don't have to add that to their regimen. Now they're just adding a sculpting component to it. And then I have some clients that they might not be doing anything at all. This might be the start of their journey. So I have to give them all of the tools and steps so that they can start their journey properly, and know that, okay, if we're going to start this process, we got to detox. We got to get all the bad stuff out so that we can really
So you'll
start.
explain to them what to do with the detoxing, right?
Absolutely. I have stuff that you can do at home as your aftercare tips to detox, and then as well as I offer sauna blanket sessions. And that basically consists of you laying in a sauna blanket bag, and it gets hot enough where it'll allow you to sweat. You're wrapped up inside of it, and it basically just makes you sweat. So I usually rub a couple of topicals on like your stomach or your arms, depending on where we're trying to treat. Wrap you up, put you in there for about 30 minutes to 40, about 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how long the person can stand being in the heat, and then you're good to go. But some, depending on the situation, some clients might need a lot more of that before we get to the sculpting. So it usually depends on how they want to break up their sessions. Sometimes some people are open to me kind of just structuring it for them. Some people do the sculpting and then they later on I start adding on the sauna. And it's up to them. If they're doing the aftercare tips and stuff on their own, it's not necessarily a big deal. But if I'm not seeing any results, I might suggest like you really should do this so that we can kind of get things moving and we can really see if the detox is really your issue or not.
Okay, so back to the castor oil, you just take it and we'll put it in your belly button. You don't have to put the plastic around.
No, no. So you with the castor oil, you don't have to wrap the plastic around it. The
Okay.
plastic is like if you're using like a hot cream or any of those kind, it's different brands, but any of those kind of creams that you're going to rub on your stomach that make the skin get hot to cause you to sweat in those areas, that's when you're going to want to use the plastic
Oh,
wrap because you
okay.
don't want it to transfer into anything and you want to be able to kind of still do your day-to-day activities as it's on. The castor oil you don't have to do that with because you're actually just rubbing it inside your belly button. You're not rubbing all on the outside.
Oh, okay.
So you just rub a couple of drops inside and then go to sleep, and then you do that every night.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go get me some tomorrow.
Got to. It definitely works.
Come tomorrow, and then I gotta make another appointment so I can get back on my
Right?
journey. Yeah.
Right, you definitely do.
Well, I thank you, Ranelle, for being here tonight, taking time out of your busy schedule to explain your craft, your art, your contouring, and the magic hands that she has that'll make you come back for more. And trust me, you will want to come back for one session is all you need. And then you're like, I gotta do this again. That's how
Right?
I was with my first session. I was like, right now, I'm coming back. It felt that good. It really did. You just feel the first time it was a little uncomfortable because it was new.
Right,
Honest, the wood, it was a little uncomfortable, but when you stop it and you don't go back again, it becomes uncomfortable again because it's something you have to do consistently and it feels good.
right.
You know, consistency is the key, and that's how
Absolutely.
it works. So we're going to end this episode of the Unexpected Detour with my special guest, Miss Ranelle Wilson, the body bando. And
Yes,
we'll
thank
see
you.
you another time. Thank you.